There's one set in Magic the Gathering that pretty much single-handedly saved the game from dying, and almost everybody hates it. Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, and welcome to my video on Chronicles, the set that caused the biggest problem for Wizards over time while solving a short-term problem and was a necessary set to create. So, for those of you who don't understand what Chronicles was or the impact it had on the game, let me give you a little bit of background. Back in the day, you had some of the earliest expansions. These were printed basically, we're going to print X amount of cards. Nowadays, what they do is like, we're going to print for this long kind of setup. Whereas back then, we're printing X amount of cards. So they go ahead, they print these cards, the game's getting pretty popular. Some stores don't even get some of these expansions. For example, I only ever got to buy 3 packs of Legends. It was only available on the shelves for 1 day, basically. That was it. Boom, gone. So Legends was extremely hard to come by. In fact, I had a harder time getting Legends cards than I did getting Arabian Nights and Antiquities cards. So Wizards of the Coast realized, hey, you know what, the game's getting popular. There are not enough cards to go around. The prices on some of these cards are going up to a point where people are really not going to be able to play this game. We need to step in and do something. So what they did was they created an add-on to 4th edition. 4th edition was the core set at the time. So they added on Chronicles. That's what they called it. It was an add-on to the 4th edition where basically they would have a rotating set of cards from earlier expansions that they would include so that people would have the ability to get cards that they couldn't get before. It was a good idea on the outside of it. Now, what they did, instead of just printing a set amount of it, they said, we're going to print this for X number of months. Like basically we're going to print it for a year or however long it was. And they printed a boatload of this stuff. And it had the desired effect. It totally did flood the market with these cards. And it dropped the prices of the cards in Chronicles like a rock. It worked exceedingly well in terms of driving the prices down. But it upset a whole lot of Magic players. The backlash was huge from collectors who were like, what are you doing? I collect these rare cards and now you're going to go ahead and reprint them all in the I'm not going to have any value stored in these kind of things. And so basically Wizards turned around as a result of this and said, hey, we're going to create the reserved list. These are cards we promise never to reprint. Now the crazy thing is that's biting them in the ass now. The reserved list is a big problem for Wizards. It shouldn't exist, and it's a holdover from those times where they made knee-jerk reactive responses. They never should have instituted the reserve list. Creating Chronicles was an excellent idea. If they had not created Chronicles, most likely I would not be talking to you right now. Magic would never be the game that it was. Everyone wants to pretend like Magic would have just been this massive juggernaut, but you have to understand that it has to reach a critical mass to even stand a chance. And Chronicles really drop the prices on everything. Honestly, Chronicles is how Wizards should do a reprint set, where they give everybody what they want and they tank the prices. Guys, they reprinted the Elder Dragon Legends in Chronicles, okay? The Elder Dragon Legends were $40 when they came out in Legends. And they reprinted them in Chronicles, and all of a sudden, it's a 50-cent, dollar, whatever card anybody can get their hands on. Now you can all play with the Magic cards. And the thing about collectors is, they're not really the ones who keep Magic going. Boo-hoo. Oh, I collect cards and I want them to keep value. Well, if you're not playing the game, I don't care. I don't care that you want these cardboard rectangles to have some kind of inherent worth that they shouldn't have. The only worth of Magic cards is based on their play value. Anything else is bullshit. So Chronicles was absolutely necessary. The reserved list is bullshit. And you look at how Wizards does it now. Now they're just greedy fucks. The reprint sets, their Chronicles, are Modern Master sets where they charge triple the price and put barely anything into them to try and pull as much money out of the pockets of people as possible. So Chronicles was absolutely necessary for the health of the game. Without having access to all those cards, who knows who would be playing? The game would basically, people would have been priced out of the game before the game even got big enough to be a thing. It would have all evaporated. I stand behind Chronicles. They may have printed it perhaps too much, but the concept was needed. People like Richard Garfield have come out and said that that was necessary as well. You can't have cards that cost more than $20 was what Richard Garfield said. Now that was decades ago, so obviously inflation, whatever. But it's literally untenable. It's going to kill the game. And it will reach that point. Magic can't just get infinitely more expensive like everybody wants it to. The cards won't just keep going up. There is a point of breakage where it just all falls apart. So something has to be done. You have to have these things to ease the brakes, to fucking put the pump on the gas, not pump the gas anymore, the opposite I should say, put the brakes on the gas there. So Chronicles is that sort of device, but the resultant backlash made Wizards so afraid to do anything of that nature that they just had to find a way to like slide reprints into core sets and other things where they could get away with bringing some cards back without dealing with that backlash. But in my opinion, they made an absolute mistake with the reserved list. We'll go more into depth about the reserved list in a future video. I just wanted to talk about the set that saved Magic in the past and is now damaging Magic in the future, because it's a really interesting concept, right? I mean, it seemed really detrimental back then, but actually it was really helpful back then. And now the after effects of it are detrimental, and most people don't care about that, but they look at the set that helped keep the game alive as something negative. It's really amazing. It's like they look at the life preserver that saved them from drowning with disrespect. I hate you, life preserver. Well, Chronicles, I love you. I may be the only one, but fuck it. I love Chronicles. Going on record. All right. Thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for coming on, guys. Bye. See you later.
Delver of Secrets. Do you want to know what the secret of MTG purple is? Come closer. Together, we are the sixth color of magic.
Heart Media, we the best magic!